my mouth.
No, what am I saying?
What, this? It's nothing. Really, it's nothing, Ed. It's just, it's just Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
Have a good time. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened.
Okay, you little bastards. The time has come. The moment we've all been waiting for. It's the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. Let's go.
All right, let's get into it. Another podcast, another day. You're always invited, but we thank you for being here.
Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. I got nothing else to do on these recording days, so I like to show up. And then we spread this worldwide. Some people love it. Some people of late, I've realized, do not love us at all. And that means we're doing something right.
Yeah, dude, we'll take it either way. We just want to evoke a little emotion out of you. And, hey, maybe you'll learn something. Maybe we'll learn something because, yeah, you can contact the show. We got a webpage, thevocalminority.net, and also a phone number, right, Stephen?
We do. It's pretty cool. It's old school and new school again. You know, we started the show as a call-in radio talk show like 20-something years ago, and we still want to hear from you people, the vocal minority. So, yeah, call the voicemail and leave a message. We'll play it back on the show. It's easy, but you got to use your actual voice. So it's a challenge for some people, apparently. But the phone number is 844-48-VOCAL. That's 844-48-VOCAL.
We have a lot of socials, and Steve put out a lot of videos this past week. And, we always comment on the videos and everything like that. I saw you making some comments explaining to the masses what it means to be part of the vocal minority. We made this talk show for you, so you don't have a voice. Well, you can step on here and have one, so feel free to spout off, dude.
Yeah, it's funny. A few people accused us of censorship this week on social medias. And it's like, first of all, I'm responding to your comments. We've got a comment line. You can call and be part of the show. And by the way, some of these social media platforms, they censor things on their own. YouTube being the biggest one I've noticed. Because there's times where I get alerts, like 5 new comments, and I go and I look, there's only 3. Like they're blocking them. I can see them, but they won't let me read them. And someone commented like, "Oh, I see you liberals, you deleted my comment." And you saw me reply like, no, we didn't. That must be YouTube. So go ahead and say it again. And I assume in a less offensive way so I can actually read it. So, yeah.
Yeah. We'll never delete a comment, dude. I mean, if it's so bad and maybe it's dangerous, the platform will probably delete you. But we're not going to delete you. Well, that's what we're here for. So say what you will. Call our comment line, 844-48-VOCAL. And then you can't be deleted by anyone, dude. So just do it.
Exactly. And as of now, I would say 9 out of 10 death threats, we just let them go, whether they're overt death threats or people just offering to kick the crap out of one of us. And there was one person on TikTok like a year ago. They got pretty visceral, so I had to block them. But I let it go a long ways before I would even consider that. So let's keep it somewhat civil. It doesn't have to be totally civil. It's America. But find us on YouTube, doing well right now. TikTok's a big one for us. Facebook, Twitter X, Instagram, Threads, and Reddit. Reddit does pretty well, too, based on the topic. So find us on all those.
Yeah, you can find us easily.
Enough said.
Yeah, that is enough said. You can find us anywhere. The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. And what a week this past week has been. I mean, right into the weekend, for crying out loud. People were making predictions. Will Biden step down? Will he do it during the RNC? Will he do it during the weekend? Is he going to wait? And lo and behold, Sunday, I started getting texts from Steve right away. Did you see it happened?
I was out on the dirt bike when I started getting news alerts, so I immediately started sending out text to everyone saying it's happening. And really, what a crazy week in the world of politics. I mean, last Saturday, or 8 days ago from recording day, Trump got shot in the ear, and Biden had already shot himself in the foot. It just took longer for the foot injury to catch up.
Yes,
for Biden to acknowledge that yes, it's time to go. So.
Yes. Speaking of our comment line, we did get a comment that came in, and we should probably listen to that real quick because it will kind of set up what happened with Biden stepping down.
Good morning, champions. This is Jude in Olympia, Washington, and I just wanted to call and congratulate Steve on his prediction, his accurate prediction that Biden was going to step aside. He has, and Aren't we so excited? I was glad when Steve predicted it. I agreed with him then. I agree that he needed to. I just am curious what you think's next. Is the party going to get behind Kamala? Is there going to be turmoil at the convention? Just wondering what your take on it is, where we're going to go from here. I think it's great for the party, personally. I think that we can get excited about a woman of color running for office that's not quite Gen X, but getting there. We're getting closer. We're getting younger. Hopefully we're getting more productive, helpful candidates. So tell us what you think. What's next?
All right. Tell us what you think. What's next? First of all, let me say that she just fucking stroked you. I mean, she kept saying like, "Oh, Steve was right. Steve was right." And I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, you know, Steve, for crying out loud, you know that he likes that little stroking."
Yeah, I appreciate, Jude, that you're calling the great prognosticator to find out what will come next. Because, yes, I do see it. I feel it. I see the writing on the wall with Biden. And, yeah, that needed to happen. And as I said on the show several episodes back, that really upset our old producer. It's literally the topic he screamed and, stormed out over, is that, yeah, it's going to go to Kamala. The country will unite around it. Of course, the Democrats are going to unify around it, minus one or two little crybabies that we don't need. The center of the country, the pop culture element of the country, is going to be excited about this.
Yeah.
We've gone from a situation where we were just about to lose the White House, the Senate, the House, the Supreme Court. We were about to get absolutely bent over, and some of us were willing to just walk off that cliff. And we've avoided that. Nick, I hope you understand the course of history changed on Sunday when Biden dropped out of this race. We now have a chance to undo all the evil that was coming. And we legitimately have a chance to not only win the White House, keep our lead in the Senate, and take back the House. And then that puts us in a position to either stack the Supreme Court or put term limits on them or have actual, regulation of them somehow for ethics violations. I mean, everything just changed.
Oh, completely. I mean, it was a big day. I got to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, I'm processing, I'm taking all that in, but there is a part of me that is feeling so tempered because I don't want to get too excited. I don't want to feel so good because, well, we've been screwed before. We've seen things go badly, and then I just get let down. So I'm trying to kind of temper myself, but I'm getting more excited I'm more excited today than I was yesterday. Setting records already. Kamala set records as far as donations that are coming in. The people are speaking in small donations, which means masses of people are donating, dude. And, I don't know. I think that's a great way to look at things like, oh, people are responding.
Absolutely. I'm already seeing it on social media. The blue is already coalescing around this idea, and I'm seeing undecideds get excited about it. I have not personally been this excited since the Obama days. I mean, this feels the same to me, that we have a chance to get a uniquely qualified, special, liberal sort of candidate get into the White House. And
yeah,
and it is exciting. And I want to caution everyone on the current polling, the polling that's out right now that, because I've seen MSNBC doing already, Kornacki up the big board saying, what has changed if Kamala is now the candidate? And really nothing has changed. Here's the problem with current polling. It's based on a hypothetical. It's based on what if Kamala was the candidate? What would you do? People don't answer hypotheticals very well. And when things become real, things will shift. When people get to know Kamala Harris better, when they see her hopefully debate Trump, who is already trying to back out of this. I don't know if you saw that, but now he's like, we can't do this on corrupt ABC News. It should be done on Fox News.
Yes.
He is shitting his pants more than usual over the idea of having to go against Kamala. So what I do want everyone to look at right now is, first of all, give those polls a little time for this to become a real question and not a hypothetical. But what you just brought up, Nick, these small donor dollars coming in. I have not donated to a political campaign since Obama in 2008. Yesterday, I felt it. I didn't send a ton of money in, but I sent some money in, and you're seeing it. I think within the first couple of hours, she had raised $25 million. As of this morning, it's up to $80 million raised in just shy of 24 hours of the announcement. That is the indicator we should all be looking at and feeling good about.
100%, dude. I mean, that is the people speaking. And I think it's the people that we want to speaking. It's these undecideds that have stepped up and said, oh, thank God you gave me another choice that I can feel good about. Somebody younger, somebody capable, somebody who's been in the game for a while and done several different jobs of service. So I think that a lot of that money is coming from those people. Just think about that, dude. $80 million. It's a record. I don't think it's ever happened that quickly.
And that's not even getting the donor class in, the big Hollywood celebrity types. Any of the big money has not even begun to come in yet. So she'll be doing just fine on the campaign dollars. And yeah, the excitement out there, I'm absolutely seeing it. I will tell you, my firstborn, who we talked about this last time, but Neo is gender neutral, but obviously born a woman. And this will be her first election she's voting in. And I didn't know if Neo was hoping Biden would drop out or not, because Neo's a huge Joe Biden fan. She got a chance to see him in Tahoe when he was here maybe a year ago, and she essentially stalked the guy, found out where he was at in town, and sat there with the car.
Stood on a median in the middle of the road taking pictures. They were stoked.
Yep. But she was hoping that Biden would step down just post-debate and seeing the writing on the wall. And she made the comment to me that I am so proud that my first ever vote for a president will get to be for a woman.
Yes. I mean, it's incredible, dude. Like you said, you had the excitement of Barack Obama. I mean, we felt that. That was palpable for a lot of us, of just like that energy that like, oh, not only could we have the first black man as president in this country, and he's ultra qualified, and he's such a fantastic person. Like, I mean, the stars aligned and it was fantastic. And I think a lot of people are feeling that again. There is some guilt that goes along with this, because I didn't hate Biden. I know you didn't hate Biden, and a lot of people did not hate Biden. I heard Van Jones gave a little talk on CNN about his feelings of Biden stepping down, and I don't know. I thought, I feel exactly like you're feeling right now. So I'll play this for you and let me know what you think of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when your grandpa, you got to take the keys, and everybody, you got to take his keys, you got to take his keys, you got to, and he's fighting, and everybody's so frustrated. And then you finally get the keys back, and then you just cry, because this is somebody that you love. This is somebody that you care about. This is somebody who was there for you. This is somebody you wouldn't be here without him, and you have to take something from him. If you're a young person watching this, this is leadership. This is patriotism. This is what it means to put the country first, and put the party first, and put the cause first. When your arm gets tired, you let somebody else finish pitching the game. That's what Joe Biden has done, and he's done that for all of us. And so I just want to say, I don't know who's going to be the VP, the non-VP. I don't know anything about politics. I just know that I love this man. I care about this man. It was painful every day to sit up here and talk about him like he's just some problem for the party. Wait till we get to the convention. You're going to see people crying, standing, screaming, cheering. He may not get a chance to talk for 10 minutes. We finally get a chance to put our arm around this guy.
That's how people felt about Joe Biden. I mean, he was obviously emotional, you know?
Yeah. I mean, hold it together a little bit there, Van Jones, but I feel you. This has never been like I'm hating on Joe Biden. Joe Biden has done an illustrious career as an elected official, as I've been seeing multiple people say. When he first got elected, they thought he was too young, and now he's going out because he is admittedly, too old. But this is not about, hating on the last 4 years. This is about the existential, or maybe even just literal, threat to our democracy with Trump. We cannot gamble. The writing was on the wall. That debate performance was not bad. It's not that he tripped on his tongue. It was scary, and we all saw it, and we can't unsee it. And like I mentioned, we were driving off a cliff, and because he put the party, the country, democracy ahead of himself, ahead of his own ego, ahead of what he thought was going to be, 2 terms. And I want to no. We posted a video yesterday about this being a heroic thing that Joe Biden did. And several idiots have pushed back of why is he a hero? This is something Trump would never conceive in a zillion years. He is also driving them off a cliff, but he would never put anything above himself. So for Joe Biden to take one for the team here, and to do this like an adult, to make a big boy decision. None of us wanted this to be the reality, but here we are. And he has done the right thing. And that is absolutely heroic, noble. And you and I, Nick, said that we would praise the man if he did this as being a hero. And that is exactly how I feel and what he deserves.
My thought is that they will speak well of him in the history books. I mean, this is, like you said, I mean, yesterday changed everything for this country for a long time to come. He will be looked at fondly in the history books for everything he did and has done for the past 4 years, but also this move that he made. And you said it right on, dude. I mean, not only Trump, but a lot of people, especially with that much powerful. Essentially, you're the most powerful man in the world, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, to step out of that and just say, you know what, I am doing this for the country. That's why I got into the game, is to do the best for our country. I don't think you can say that about Donald Trump. I don't think you can say that about a lot of politicians. So kudos to you, Joe Biden.
No, we've been saying for a while that, but renominating Trump is like having the milk go bad, and instead of throwing it out, you put it back in the fridge and hope that it'll just somehow, be good again. And yes. I thank them for putting Trump up because he is beatable. I don't know that a Chris Christie or a Nikki Haley would be beatable at this point, but Trump absolutely is. And now we have a candidate that can actually go do it. And to answer Judy's question, will we all coalesce around Kamala Harris? Yeah, I don't want to do this like we're anointing her thing. I know I've used that term, that if Biden were to anoint his successor and do this all willingly, that we can make it happen. He anointed the correct person, the vice president. That's literally their job. Is if the president has to step down, if they die, if they're not running for reelection, it is the VP's role to step up and step in. Yes. And anyone who could have run instead of Kamala, I mean, a Gavin Newsom, a Gretchen Whitmer, I mean, everyone's already coming out and saying, we're Team Kamala. So could someone step in right now? They could. But I don't see it happening. Literally, I haven't seen it happen. And if they don't do it in the next day or two, it's just simply not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so at this point. I don't think that it's possible. People are already rallying behind her. My wife went to work this morning in a blazer and Converse, raising her hands out the door. She's pumped about life again. That, like, not only did we just breathe life into something that we thought was dead, but this is hopeful, dude. This is hopeful. So, yeah. And let's not forget that when you made a vote for Joe Biden as president, you also voted for Kamala as president. I mean, we have to keep that in mind when we're voting for a president and vice president. You're essentially voting that vice president to be a president.
So many people are forgetting that. I've heard from a few Democrats who have forgotten that. Like, I didn't vote for Harris. You literally did. I mean, her name was on the ticket. But the number one thing I'm seeing on social media right now, on the freak out on the right, and I got an article here with a whole list of things they're freaking out about right now that we'll dissect. But the biggest one I'm seeing is, oh, so you Democrats, you want to save democracy, but you're going to let, someone who you didn't vote for now is going to be your nominee. You didn't vote for this woman, and they're just going to push her on you. First of all, boy, do I appreciate your concern over our nominating process all of a sudden.
Right. Yeah.
Your sincerity is very genuine, so thank you so much for your concern. But yeah, we did vote for them, whether everyone realized it or not. We voted for Biden-Harris 4 years ago. In other words, VP would take over if something happened to Joe. But even the primary, it was the Biden-Harris ticket. Of course, we were voting for the top of the ticket. But Harris was there as the VP who is supposed to step in if things go bad. So Joe has done the absolute right thing, trying to hand the torch off to her and not anyone else. And the notion that none of us voted for her is just literally and factually inaccurate.
I think especially this ticket, voting for Biden this last time, you knew how old he was, everyone at the time we voted for him knew it was a good possibility that this would happen because we thought maybe he would die. You know, he's an older man. So, yeah, you voted for her, and now she's got the chance to do something great for the country. I'm excited about it.
I'm very excited about it. I haven't felt this way in quite a while. I mean, like I said, back to the Obama days is when I felt like this for a true candidate. But these last couple of months, and since the debate, I've been worried that Trump is actually going to win this thing. So, yeah, this is a major shot of adrenaline, and it is going to cross party lines and into the center and into the pop culture world and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And, anyone who's, was excited about voting for Joe a week ago, obviously it was a distinct possibility that because of his age, he could have died over the last 4 years, but that probability has gone way up for the next 4 years. So you were willing to make Kamala the go-to standby. I don't understand why all of a sudden now you would feel like, they're sneaking someone in on you. And by the way, there is still going to be a nomination process. Someone could still do it. But again, I just don't think anyone is, because we all feel pretty good about the choice. And that is not to say, by the way, you and I, Nick, have both talked about something that a lot of Democrats are feeling. Like, I am a little pissed at the Democratic Party right now, or at least the Biden administration. You couldn't have done this 3 months ago, 6 months ago. You couldn't have given us time for a real primary. It would have been nuts. And that anger is justified. But here we are, people. And we've been handed a bit of a crappy situation, and we have to deal with it. So thank God we have a competent vice president who can step into this role and who is going to energize people.
It's like, for you parents out there, when you get in an argument with your spouse, there's times that you're just like, you know what? We'll talk about this later. We'll figure this out later, okay? We need to do this right now. This is what's in front of us. So, yes, I am still irritated by our party and that this was hidden or swept under the rug, whatever it was. I still have those feelings, but it's go time. We'll talk about that later. We've got something to do now.
We have a major something to do. Yeah, it's like getting in a fight when you're about to host a holiday party at your house. You know what?
Right.
We got to suck it up and get through this party. We can fight about this tomorrow. Like, whatever. Like, if you want to punish the Democrats, do it in the next election or the next primary, whatever it is. But people, this is not the time to be screwing around and get yourselves all butthurt over what you perceive as a slight.
I also feel like this upcoming election is, it's kind of like, there were plenty of times, I'm sure, for most of us when we were young kids or, teenagers growing up, that our parents said, like, one day you're going to understand this and you're going to be glad that I said no, or you're going to be glad I redirected you because you're doing something stupid, but you don't see it right now. Right. I want to talk to Republicans in that way. Like, you know what? You don't see this right now, that we are about to lose everything. I don't think you know what you're getting yourselves into. So one day, I hope we can sit on the porch and have a glass of lemonade and you can say, you know what? I appreciate you stepping in when I lost my way,
Keep holding your breath for that. But,
okay.
Yeah, whether they realize it or not, yes, this is for the greater good of everybody.
Yeah.
And let me address another point too. I keep hearing is that the Democratic elites pushed Biden out, and the George Clooney, the celebrities, they all pushed Biden out. Now, first of all, if you're confident that he's a strong leader, no one should be able to push him out of anything. But I reject the premise that these were just elites with some all of a sudden conspiracy theory that they wanted to undermine Biden and make this harder for all of us. And they were representing what we were all feeling. A poll came out last week showing that 2/3 of registered Democrats wanted Biden to step down. And I would tell you, based on my conversations with other Dems, I would say it's probably more like 3/4. I mean, most of us wanted this to happen. So thank God we do have elected officials, party leaders, people like George Clooney who have influence and can step up and say, hey, this is what the country is feeling. Why would they go on some weird conspiracy at the last second here to undermine Biden? That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. And it's not real. We needed this voice to be expressed because Joe was digging his heels in, and that wasn't going to work.
No. Hey, you know what? People feel that way, and it is not right, dude. Think about this, that he makes a lot of money and he donates a lot to politics. So yes, he has a voice. Yes, he has a voice that's louder than mine because he's got money to back it up with. He can make things happen. So it's not George Clooney that did it. It's his money. And we have to be very thankful that he stepped up and did it when he did, because no one else was stepping up at that point in time with that much monetary influence. You know what I mean?
Yes. He was hearing it for some political insiders, other elected Dems, but to get that pop culture push that was huge, I think. And like I said, I don't think they were misspeaking on behalf of any of us. I appreciate them stepping up because Joe was not wanting to get the message. And that was a message that needed to get across. And I don't know what the final tipping point was. I don't know if we ever will per se, but whatever it was, you've done the right thing. And I've heard a lot of Democrats now saying, oh boy, careful what you wish for. You might just get it, right? Did we just make a mistake here? Did we just shoot ourselves in the foot? Like,
no.
All right, listen to the prognosticator here. I'm telling you that
Jude,
this was the right move. I can see the writing on the wall. I can see how the shift will happen. I can see how the center will now lean our way. It was leaning the other way. You know, the polls of late didn't show a dramatic shift, but it showed a couple of points shifting in the wrong direction for Joe, especially in the swing states. And having this renewed enthusiasm, momentum, it is going to tip the scales in the right direction. Or at a minimum, we're going to have a goddamn fighting chance come election day to win this thing. Whereas we were about to walk into an electoral landslide. Even Biden saw that from his own Democratic pollsters that they hired that do targeted polling, not just random phone calls. So he finally saw the writing on the wall, as we all have. We now have a fighting chance, and that's all we were really hoping for. Nothing is guaranteed, no matter what I'm predicting. I'm just saying, now we have a fighting chance. So, Dems, this is not the time to start to be wishy-washy and wonder if we made a mistake. This is the time to ignite this pop culture momentum that is it's burgeoning. It's growing rapidly out there right now. So post it, show people that you're excited, tell it to people at the office. Get away from this we're not talking politics thing. Let everyone know that it is okay to be excited about Kamala. You start that little spark, and I guarantee you a flame will grow from it.
100%. We got to do some grassroots work here. There's already people excited. We see with donations. We see just in our personal circles. But yeah, let's get people excited because I find it funny that I've got a couple of douchebag friends that are Republican. So I see all over the place like it makes me so happy that that's the best you guys got. Like this is not a time to look down on anything that we have just done. We have done something fantastic and phenomenal, and really put it into perspective. The Lincoln Project put out their newest ad. I mean, it was out this morning. Maybe it was out last night. I don't know. But this really puts things in perspective. If you're wondering about Kamala, if you're wondering about Trump and where everyone stands, this is their latest advertisement.
No one wanted it this way. Joe Biden is a good man, a good American, a great president. But time and the burden of the office means it's time to step aside, to put a warrior into the political arena, ready to take on Donald Trump, to face up to the un-American plan Trump and Project 2025 will impose. Vice President Kamala Harris is ready, experienced, and as a tough prosecutor, Kamala Harris dealt with men like Trump all the time. Rapists, con men, frauds, criminals. She's used to guys like Trump, used to putting them in their place.
Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America?
Kamala Harris will bring something to Trump he's rarely seen. Justice.
Please bring justice to Trump. And that is true. Like, let's not forget, we're talking about Kamala going up against a rapist, a criminal. Like, this is left out of the conversation because it's just become so norm. Like, I hope, yes, give some justice to us and get this party back in line and get rid of this whole Trump thing. Please.
Yes. It is literally the prosecutor versus the felon. I mean, this is a Hollywood script being written here. And, we've all been so worried about the fact that Joe can't string sentences together. I mean, Kamala is a proficient public speaker. She's proficient at prosecuting a case in front of a judge, in front of a jury. She's done it over and over and over. We saw it in her career back when she was the AG, and we saw it when she was a senator, grilling Kavanaugh, grilling Barr. I mean, she knows how to make a case and stick to it. And, I've already seen clips of her debating former Vice President Mike Pence back in 2020. And it was so hilarious to me. Every time Pence tried to talk over her, she would just turn like some disappointed mother and just say, "Excuse me, sir, I am talking. I am talking."
Yes.
And Pence
right?
just look up like, "Ooh, I just got in trouble." Ooh.
Yes, 100%, dude. She's good at what she does. I mean, California continued to vote for her for a reason, because she's good at what she does, dude. And yes, she did take on Barr and started to get more well known after she did that. But she's been doing things for decades. She's good at it, and I'm ready to have her serve, dude. I would love for her to sit in that seat in the Oval Office.
It's exciting, and I know some people are worried. She's a woman, she's a minority, and those are factors. Those are things to be concerned about.
Sadly.
When Clinton, it is sad that we have to worry about it. But, first of all, I think we've come a long way since 2016. I think the Me Too movement is a big part of that. I think Hillary Clinton was branded very negatively for a long time. That added to some of that sexism. And, there will be some of that, and which is why we just got to get the vote out to try to compensate for the margin of error that is. And the grassroots is a big part of it. Act Blue is the website that the Dems are using to do the direct campaign fundraising. If you want to go to a super PAC or something, that's on you. But Act Blue is the main site. And I donated yesterday for the first time in a long time. And I was talking with Kennedy this morning, and she decided she was going to make a donation as well.
Nice.
And we're seeing a lot of people that are feeling invigorated by this. And it was funny. She sent me a thing from Act Blue saying, "Hey, they're using your name on Act Blue. They're referencing you on Act Blue right now." I was like, "Oh, really? That's impressive." They have a thing on their website that says flexible and free fundraising tools to harness the power of the grassroots.
Ooh, I like that, dude. Let's harness the power of the grassroots right here on the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
That's right.
It's fantastic. We were trying to, Rachel and I were riding in the car yesterday trying to come up with slogans for Kamala Harris, because we got to come up with some good stuff for her. It's a little tough, but we couldn't find anything that really rhymed and stuck out with Kamala. But with Harris, I mean, we got all kinds of stuff,
Oh, really? Do you want to spitball any ideas? Or?
I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet, but because they need a little work, like don't be embarrassed, vote for Harris, stuff like.
Harris won't embarrass us.
Yeah, right. Yes.
That's interesting.
Someone to cherish, it's Harris, stuff like that. But we're going to round things out and come up with something great. So
yeah, perfect. You know who I think I don't feel bad for, and I think is just freaking hilarious right now? All of you people that have your Go Brandon flags, posters, and stickers. It's just, It's completely irrelevant now. Most of us didn't even know what it meant before, but now it's such a waste. I just saw a Go Brandon flag yesterday in my town, and that means nothing now. Nor does Hunter Biden or the laptop or any of this garbage that you've been trying to spew up for years. So take your Go Brandon and go recycle it, because it means nothing anymore.
Just phenomenal, dude. That is all going away. I love that. And that you wasted your money on it in the first place. We're just showing you wasted your money on it now because it doesn't mean anything. Like you said, it never really meant anything. It was so stupid. Oh, we're trying to say, instead of fuck Biden, we're just trying to say go Brandon because we're polite. Now you're polite? You've been, you haven't been polite for a long time, dude.
Yeah. And Trump's first little online temper tantrum yesterday was about the fact that this isn't fair that they're replacing him. Like, we've spent years building up all this stuff. Now we got to start all over.
He's asking for can we get reimbursed? I'm just saying. Like, no, you can't get reimbursed, dude. What are you talking about?
Yes. And I've seen several Republicans, including now Trump and Vance, saying, well, geez, I mean, Biden should just resign altogether. If he's not fit to run for reelection, he's not fit right now. And let me just tell you something. Careful what you wish for. You've already gotten burned hoping that Biden would not be the nominee, because that's going to blow up in your freaking faces. But if Biden stepped down right now, which I was actually originally advocating for, and he may still do it before the election, that would not be an insulting thing to Biden. But what it would do is it would make Kamala Harris the president right now. People would see that the world's not going to implode because she's president. So go ahead, keep wishing for that, because if Biden steps down and Kamala becomes the actual president, it's going to make it even harder for you idiots to somehow claim that the sky is falling.
Well, I keep thinking about the fact that, there was some secret audio a couple of weeks ago after the debate where Trump was sitting in his golf cart bragging to, guys on the golf course, like, you see what I did in that debate? And he's like, yeah, I knocked that old man out of there. He's done. He's finished. Like, you were saying you did it. So now you don't want him to be gone? It's not fair anymore? Mm-hmm. You're the one that said you did it.
And in that same audio, he's like, Kamala will be in. She's such a joke. She'll be so easy to defeat.
Yeah.
No, she won't. Mm-hmm. I saw one talking head, internet talking head on the internet yesterday that he was basically saying, like, Biden, it's not too late. You can take this back. We want you in this race, man. We want Biden in this race, because the reality was settling in on this man that, oh, crap, what did we just do? Getting Biden out of this race is not good. And by the way, Dems, I'm seeing a lot of you now say that now we should be calling for Trump to step down, which you're not wrong. He's senile and old and all that too. But no. We need him in this race. He's beatable.
We're going to keep Von Schitzenpants right where he is, dude. And, hopefully eliminate him fairly soon.
And he has gotten the nomination now, by the way. So now it will be next to impossible to get him off the ballot. It probably would justify lawsuits if you tried to take him off. But they're not going to do that because he would never step down. He's not that kind of patriot.
People are saying, if Trump had known that Biden was going to step down and Kamala was going to, be running, that he would have never picked J.D. Vance, like that he would have made a different decision, because he didn't. That was for running against Biden, not Harris. So, which is funny, because J.D. Vance, what a pile of shit you are. What a two-faced, talk out of both sides of your mouth pile of shit. And I'm seeing all kinds of people come forward that grew up in, the Appalachians? Is that right? Yeah. Am I saying that right? Yeah. They're saying, like, he has nothing to do with this area, and he paints it with his broad strokes of, like, we're poor white trash and we're hillbillies and everything else. Like, he has no idea what he's talking about. He's fake all the way around.
He absolutely is. He hated Trump back before he had a vested interest in Trump. He was being honest back when he said that he was an ever-Trumper and the guy's the next American Hitler. I mean, he was being very honest back then. But then he needed Trump, so he bent the knee, he kissed the ring. And are you familiar with his wife at all? Because I didn't know about his wife before any of this, but it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I know that I think she's Indian.
Yes, Hindu. Yeah. Her parents are immigrants, so she's first generation. She is a lawyer. She worked years and years for a law firm that on their own website describes themselves as being woke and progressive.
Yeah.
But her parents are poisoning the blood of America, according to his overlord Trump.
Yes.
Talk about throwing your own wife, your own ideals, everything you've ever said under the bus, just because you see a political opportunity.
When he was giving his speech at the RNC, which was so pathetic. I mean, are we going to talk about all the chants? I mean, just real quickly, like, that crowd chanted anything and everything. He would talk about, some lady that raised him that he called Mama. And, he'd start talking and they'd be like, Mama. And then he started talking about his mom and they were like, JD's mom. It was so pathetic, dude.
Cults need something to mantra and to spew back,
Yes. But one great takeaway from all of this is that he was talking about his mother, who is, she's an addict and she's got close to 10 years sober. Okay. But he was giving this speech and, started to get, a little emotional, but it was all really fake, if you ask me. And he was talking about the fact that all the fentanyl that is coming across our borders almost killed his mother and ruined his life and everything else. Well, it turns out his mom was a nurse, dude, and she was stealing prescription pills from where she worked, and that's what she got addicted to. It was not fentanyl coming across the border, but way to use it as a talking point.
Wow.
Pile of shit.
No, the hypocrisy is always humorous to us. And speaking of VPs, do we want to wax eloquent for a minute? Do we want to give our either predictions or our Democratic masturbatory fantasies of who Kamala may pick for her VP?
I think we can go over it, dude, but at the end of the day, I guess I have no idea. And the reason why I have no idea is because, I think I would love to see her have Pete Buttigieg as her VP. But like you were just saying, I don't know if America can take a black woman as president and then a gay man as vice president. And that's a sad commentary on our country, but it's facts.
No, it is sad. It is something to consider, though. I mean, on one level, Pete Buttigieg is a Midwestern white guy. That's good, right?
He's a vet.
So he's a veteran, and he's smart as hell. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, how progressive are we in this country? Are we okay with a gay guy being vice president? I know we all are, obviously. I know we would cheer and champion that kind of thing, but we are still trying to win an election. I don't want to go too far with our Democratic fantasies here.
Right.
But I wonder, I do wonder. I've seen a lot of people say that would be a fantasy ticket. So would igniting people in the middle that have come a long ways on gay people, would that outweigh the homophobes that wouldn't vote for him? I don't know. I don't want to see her pick a generic, just middle of the road white guy governor that's no one ever heard of. That's sort of a common thing. Hillary Clinton, what the hell, Tim? What was her VP pick? I can't remember the guy's name anymore because he was that kind of thing. He was just this generic white guy that no one had really heard of. He wasn't going to outshine Hillary.
Right.
Part of me really wants Vice President Harris to pick a dream team ticket, whether it's Buttigieg or not. Pick another all-star to balance it out. So, I don't know. What was your wife's prediction? Because I think what she's saying, that may be the way this ends up.
I can't think of his name.
Mark Kelly.
What is it?
Mark Kelly.
Mark Kelly, yeah. That's what she was like. Oh, I got the best idea, Mark Kelly, and he is the husband of Gabby, yeah, who got shot in the face, and he is an astronaut. He is a vet. And she thinks that he would just be a solid, good pick because not only would he be qualified for the job, in her opinion, but it might be a nice, hey, Republicans, grab onto the fact that he's an astronaut. You guys love SpaceX or whatever it's called. You guys say you love the vets, but I don't know that you actually do, but you like to publicly say that you do. So he's a vet and he's a middle-aged white man. So you guys can all get behind that, right?
I think he would be the perfect pick. He's enough of a celebrity to have that status, but not to outshine Vice President Harris. And yeah, he's a middle-of-the-road white guy. That is somewhat something we kind of need, I think, to balance that ticket out. And he's from Arizona, which is a swing state that would be really nice to have that one in our win list there. So
yeah, what was she saying with the seats that could possibly be filled? I didn't quite understand what she was saying, but she told you, and I'm sure you got it.
What about the Senate? No, because if he stepped down, we'd have to fill the seat. And I don't know if Arizona's governor is a Democrat. Maybe that's
yes,
what you're about, but
yes.
So we'd have a chance to fill or keep that seat maintained in the blue category. So
yeah,
we'll see. We shall see. I mean, I'm going to put faith in Harris that she'll pick somebody that's going to balance the ticket well. And I'm excited to see where it goes. So.
Yeah, 100%. We should be excited, like you said.
Do you want to hear some of the things Republicans are currently freaking out about?
Yeah, I always like to hear a Republican freaking out.
And this is funny because, like we just said with Trump, boy, they got to start over from scratch. I know a couple of weeks ago they started seeing that, hey, maybe Harris is going to be the pick, but they haven't had years to label her on Fox News. And for better or for worse, Kamala's been laying low these past several years. So there's not a lot to really hang on. And there's not a lot of dirt out there because she has run for multiple offices. So any good dirt would already be out there. And so far, the biggest thing is, she prosecuted a lot of people. She was tough on crime.
Yeah, she was tough on. She was tough on drugs. She was, I think she's got some dirt on her that she dated a basketball player at one point or something. An NBA player. So yeah, I don't know.
Have you seen the video going around that Elon Musk posted yesterday of Kamala Harris? She's sitting in a boardroom at the White House or whatever, and she's wearing the blue suit, and she tells the people, like, my name's Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she, they, or she, her, and I'm wearing a blue suit today. Have you seen this video?
No.
Yeah. So they're posting this like, this woman's a moron. She's explaining what color her suit is to people in a board meeting. Like, you want this woman running the country? This is what Elon Musk said. Well, it turns out she was in front of a group of disabled activists, and some of them were blind.
Yes.
So she was told, introduce yourself, explain who you are, tell them what you look like, tell them what you're wearing. So, I mean, it's just, this is the best they've come up with so far.
We found out that they don't like for us to be inclusive. You know, we don't want to take care of blind people. That's too much energy you want to tell them what you're wearing. Like, come on, ableist.
So here's all the ways, this is a HuffPost article, all the ways the right is melting down over Kamala Harris. Starts off with a quote here, Democratic senator. They're watching Democrat enthusiasm skyrocket in real time, and if I were them, I'd be pretty freaked out too.
Yeah.
And I've been commenting a lot in our comment sections of just like, you're literally grasping at straws, you morons, and just, you should be nervous. And it is hilarious to watch you all spinning right now and freaking out because we're coming for you.
Yes. Yes, we're coming for you, and we're coming for you with somebody big, somebody strong, somebody fantastic. So look out.
So the first freak out is just simply denial. This isn't happening. You know, we heard Trump already say, like, this isn't legal. Maybe Joe's going to wake up tomorrow and realize, like, I made a mistake. Like, you can't do this, Joe. Like, there's just heavy denial going on.
Oh, Trump said that he's going to wake up tomorrow and forget that he resigned.
Yes,
right.
Yes. And they're all trying to claim that Biden didn't have COVID. Like, I don't even know what the hell. Why would if Biden wanted to lay low for a few days, he could have. Why would he fake COVID?
Yes.
And he's been away now that he's had COVID. Well, he's trying to be responsible. So, the big scream right now is this isn't fair. Former Trump White House advisor Stephen Miller and big Project 2025 advocate vented about Biden leaving the race in a Fox News interview, accusing Democrats of being an oligarchy. They held a primary. They had ballots. They filled out the circles. They went to the voting booths. They spent money on ads. And as President Trump said, the Republican Party spent tens of millions of dollars running against Biden. Now they just woke up one morning and said, never mind, we're canceling the primary. This isn't fair. They can't do this.
Oh my gosh, dude, this is a great example of you're not putting America first. Because if you don't think that we can do this or that we should be doing this, you don't care about the country, and the well-being of the country. You want to just to move forward with him and have a disaster happen on his watch? Like, you don't care about the country, dude. All you care about is winning.
Of course. These are all self-serving statements. The next one, Democrats can't replace Biden. It's illegal. House Speaker Mike Johnson, who no one ever heard of, claimed Sunday that replacing Biden as the presumptive Dem nominee would be unlawful, suggesting that Republicans will be filing legal challenges. And he echoes this. Turns out the so-called party of democracy thinks it can overrule the votes of 14 million Americans. Election experts quickly rejected the notion, pointing out that Biden is not actually the official nominee yet, and there would be no obstacle to replacing him on the ballot. Not to mention, like we talked about, the logic of her being the vice president already.
Yes, yeah. You gave your speech, Trump. You accepted the nomination.
Democrats are only supporting Harris because of her ethnic background. Well, actually, as you just heard Nick and I say, some of us are slightly concerned about her ethnic background as far as some of you people, holding it against her. We're enthused about it, but it's not the reason.
Yes, it doesn't, you know what? It doesn't make any freaking difference to me of the color of her skin. I will say the one difference it does make to me is changing our world for the better and having the perspective of somebody else that's not my color in the White House makes me excited, dude.
Yes. I'm more excited about the idea of a woman than I am somebody who is of, mixed ethnic background.
I am
Black,
too.
Asian, whatever it is. Like that's a nice little cherry on top. But to have a woman in there, I've been saying this for a while. I think women are due to take over this world. They could if they all coalesced around each other, but they're not going to. But yeah, I think women are a little more practical and pragmatic in a lot of things. So that's the part of her I'm excited about, if anything. But that's not the only reason, obviously.
Right. Yeah, no, I think all the way around it looks good. So yeah, that's no one feels that, and no one on of the Democrats feel that way that, oh yeah, she's black, we can get around this.
Kamala Harris can't be president because she doesn't have kids. Have you heard this weird? I've heard this out there. Like, oh, she's not a parent. We can't elect her to be president.
Legally or just as opinion based?
No, it's just an opinion thing, I guess, or something to attack her on. Another ugly attack launched against Harris seems to focus on her having no biological children. The vice president does have 2 stepchildren, by the way, with her husband, the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff. Really simple. Under discussed reasons why Kamala Harris shouldn't be president. No children, says Will Chamberlain, senior counsel for the conservative judicial advocacy group, Article 3. A quote here from Harris. When Doug and I got married, Cole, Ella, and I agreed that we didn't like the term stepmom. Instead, they came up with the name Mamala. First of all, I don't know that being a parent is a prerequisite for being the president, period. But also, kind of fuck you if you want to diminish step-parents into saying that they somehow don't understand what raising kids is like or having that burden on their brain that they have to look out for someone else. I think being a step-parent is a pretty damn onerous thing. Harder in some ways than actually being the biological parent, because there's that whole ripple there of you're not my real mom, But of course she understands what being a parent is.
Dude, listen to me. As someone who doesn't have kids, I find this very offensive, and for the whole step-parent reason. Like, this is such bullshit. She doesn't have kids, so she can't do it. Like, that is the dumbest thing I have ever heard when her career has remained about service in her community for years. Like, that is so freaking stupid, dude.
Yes. Trump has multiple kids from multiple baby mamas and apparently flew on Epstein's plane multiple times with several young women. Not saying he banged them, but we know documented facts that he did fly on those planes. He did go to that island. And by the way, just real quick on this Epstein thing, I know everyone's dying to connect the dots that Trump had sex with underage women. I don't even know if that matters. He was buddies with Epstein. He sang Epstein's praises. He traveled with him multiple times. They had multiple phone conversations, including in the middle of the night. Trump even acknowledged that Epstein was known for hanging out with very young women. He likes the attractive ones, and they're often very young. That, to me, is scummy enough that you were hanging out with a perv who you knew hung around with young ladies, like whether you were actually doing it or not. Like, these are your friends? These are who you're hanging out with?
Not even young ladies, dude. He was a pedophile. He was a known pedophile. Yes. Okay?
No, so right. That's being generous.
You're being real generous, young ladies. I mean, he was a pedophile, dude. If I hung out and was good buddies with Jeffrey Dahmer, like, people would look at me strange. Like, oh, you're fine with him murdering young boys and eating them? I mean, come on. Trump, we know Trump's a pile of shit. His base doesn't seem to care, but we know that.
Back to the reasons Republicans and conservatives are freaking out right now over Kamala Harris. This reeks of racism to me. Kamala Harris doesn't speak well. Former Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway said Sunday that Harris shouldn't be the Democratic presidential nominee because she, quote, does not speak well. She does not work hard. She doesn't inspire anyone, and she should not be the standard bearer for the party.
Wow. That's got so many layers of things to it. Racism is in there. We've got ignorance in there. We've got, I mean, you don't have any idea what you're talking about. That's from Kellyanne Conway, dude. I mean, Skeletor herself, alternative facts. Kellyanne Conway, like, at least she tells the truth. At least that matters. And I do find her inspiring.
Of course.
That's ridiculous. And she is a great speaker. Everyone's talking about her crazy laugh. Oh, you know, she's got to be a little mental in there. Have you ever heard her laugh? Yeah, you guys listened to Tucker Carlson laugh on Fox for frickin' 20 years, and that was crazier.
And she's a very eloquent speaker. I mean, speeches I've heard, debates she's been in, grilling people on the floor of the Senate. Like, I don't even know what you would possibly be referring to that she's not an articulate speaker, but somehow your guy Trump is an articulate speaker.
See, I mean, yeah, you don't even have the right to compare the two. Like, that's just crazy. Of course she's a great speaker.
And here is my favorite final freakout I will share with you. And, you know, I've said that they're grasping at straws to find some reason to hate her. They are literally grasping at straws. Senior Trump campaign advisor Jason Miller said Sunday on NBC that a major liability for Harris is that she, quote, wants to ban plastic straws. I love my plastic straws. I hate those paper straws, said Sean Hannity on Fox News. It's difficult to drink out of a paper straw.
It's really not. It's really not that bad. I've been doing it for a long time. This is like when they told Obama, you wore a tan suit. What the hell's wrong with you? This has nothing to do with anything. Plastic straws. Go buy a straw that you can put in the dishwasher then, Sean Hannity.
Right. What they're really saying is this woman wants to save the planet. Like, what the hell is her problem? And we have done stories on the show recently about the fact that plastics are everywhere and microplastics have worked their way into our semen, into our penises, to our
nut sacks. They're everywhere, dude. It's a big problem.
Everywhere. And not to mention this huge garbage pile in the ocean that's just floating around like a continent. Like, we do have too many plastics in circulation out there. And using a straw for 10 minutes and throwing it away is really not a good thing, okay? And I don't like paper straws. I've just given up on straws, you know? But to go after her because she wants to try to save the planet, this is the best you can come up with, Hannity?
100%, dude. That is so freaking crazy and just laughable. Well, I keep grasping at everything. I mean, you haven't made one great point that scares me yet, why she's not qualified, so...
And if they had some good points, they would obviously be focusing on that. But they're just spraying buckshot right now and seeing what'll land. And yet, you know, you're going to see the sexism and racism go up 100-fold on the interweb. And I've already started to see it. You know, people, oh, she blew her way to the top, or she's just, you know, some affirmative action hire. Like, you good luck with all of that shit. You're just going to motivate the left and the center even more. So keep it up, idiots.
Yeah. No, you're right. You were right. Jude pointed that out to start this program off, and hopefully your predictions will keep coming true, dude, that she's going to take this all the way to the White House. And yeah, let's get behind each other, dude. We're really talking about harnessing the power of the grassroots movement and getting this one taken care of. It's like we're playing Nintendo, ladies and gentlemen, and we got to hit the reset button, and this game is going to go much better. Let's play it.
Yes, everyone needs to step up now, okay? The center, the libs, we need to stop being so shy about this. It is okay. Embrace Kamala Harris. Let the interwebs know about it. Let the pop culture world know about it. The momentum is building right now. $80 million in donations in less than 24 hours. Capitalize on that. Water that seed, and it will grow, and we will save this country. And like I said earlier, the fate of the world history changed when Biden stepped down. It is up to the rest of us now to jump on this ship and to steer it to brighter waters, to, I don't know, make up your own fucking metaphors. My point is, now is a time to rally around Vice President Harris. We need her to win this fall. We need Trump to be defeated. That's the end game here, people. Trump cannot win. Vote blue no matter who, but Kamala is a great candidate to rally behind.
You got Trump in this corner. You got Harris in this corner. You want careless or Harris? Come on, dude. Let's do this. Let's get ready to go, for crying out loud.
And yes, share your favorite campaign slogans. So check out the website, thevocalminority.net. Please do call the comment line, 844-48-VOCAL. We'd love to hear from you. But those social medias, I mean, I'm telling you, the internet right now, the social media world is where the pop culture world is getting their barometer from. So do not be shy to like comments, to comment, to share, to repost. Like, the more people that everyone sees in those comment sections, the more likes a post gets that it's in favor of Harris, the more that momentum will literally change the course of history. So
normalize it. Come on, guys. We can do this. We started to pipe down, and it's our time to ramp back up, and let's get behind Harris, and let's get the job done. Thank you for listening to the podcast, The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. You can find all our socials, of course. They're fantastic. Steve puts a stamp of approval on all of them.
Well, I'm drawing from us. How could they not be fantastic? So help spread the good word out there, please. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok.
Yes, and call our comment line. It's 844-48-VOCAL, The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. And we bid you adieu.
This is The Vocal Minority.
Hello, everyone. My name is Morgan Freeman. It's my great pleasure to introduce you to the two best guys in the podcast game. Welcome to The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. Come on this journey with the boys and make sure to follow, comment, download, and like. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go grab a couple of cold pops. Good day.
The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.